$14,000 divided by 7 months. We could divide it by 8 if we wanted to, right? Like, because I'm being super generous here. But this is how much money is being brought in a month. Now, let's say you worked at McDonald's for 15 bucks an hour, 40 hours a week, 4 weeks a month. That's how much money you would make. Hey everyone, welcome to Nicole Reacts, where I, Nicole, react to online marketing gurus that I find on the internet. My qualifications for snark and commentary that I've owned a marketing company for 15 years. In that time, having worked with hundreds of clients on marketing strategy and implementation. So I can see these gurus coming a mile away. Now, if you like guru snark, if you want to watch me snark on Brandon Burchard, Marie Forleo, Amy Porterfield, Rachel Hollis, Seth Godin, tons of both like actual marketing people and sort of these fake marketing people, you can check out the Nicole Reacts playlist on the YouTube channel, or you can go on the website and click on the Nicole Reacts category and you'll be able to see all of the videos there. And if you really like it, I hope you consider liking the video, sharing the video, leaving a comment, and ideally subscribing to the channel, because hopefully 2023 is the year of monetization for me. That's what I'm putting out there in the universe. So today's person is one we're revisiting, which is Bethany Beal. Now, I did a previous video on Bethany, which I'll link in the show notes or cards, or I'll link it somewhere around here so you can find it. But in case you don't want to watch it, I want to give a brief kind of summary, because what I want to do is revisit her marketing content. When I recorded the last video, she hadn't launched her website yet. She hadn't launched her free master class, which I guess is her way to generate leads, right? So she gives you a free course and then you'll pay for the full course kind of thing. And yeah, she hadn't done a lot of that stuff, and she hadn't actually launched her course yet, but she has now. So we have a lot more material to react to. I also had some feedback for her, which it looks like she's incorporated some of. So I don't know whether she watched the video or someone on her team watched the video, but somebody definitely saw my video, because I noticed almost immediately after some of the things I critiqued began to change. But we'll get into that in a second. I have a feeling deep down her actual kind of core marketing messages haven't changed, but some of the window dressing has. Again, we'll get into it. So here's a brief summary of my issues with Bethany Beal's marketing as it stood a couple of months ago when I made my last video. My first point of improvement I had suggested for Bethany or anyone else who wants to do something is, if you're going to say that you're going to help someone do something, you have to have demonstrated that you've done it several times at least before you ask to be paid over $1,000 to help them do it. So she is selling you an online course about how you can make an online course and sell it for passive income. Now, it's unclear to me if Bethany has ever done this on her own. She will argue that she has done courses as part of Girl Defined, but that's with her sister and maybe other family members too. But I haven't seen, like, I don't know, some online training she's attended to help her build courses. I don't see any kind of degree in education or learning or teaching or like even online presentation. I don't see that she's had clients that she's built courses for. That kind of thing. You know what I mean? I'm not even saying necessarily it has to be formal education, but just some authority around what she's doing. Now, I think she also got some pushback from other people besides me about that, because when I reacted to the video, you know, in that first video, she had this story where she basically listed her professional accomplishments, like that she had spoken at international conferences and that she had built online courses before. Didn't say for who, but just that she had. So she made this whole list and then, you know, had a little slider that was like, sounds like a lot of business experience to me. And the slider, you know, the final tabulation of everyone who interacted with the slider was, it was about halfway. So it wasn't like all the way across, like, wow, that's a lot of experience. And it wasn't all the way down. It was kind of right down the middle. So kind of inconclusive. We can say that people who follow her or people who snark hard enough on her to see her stories were medium impressed. But to me, that's kind of inconclusive. I'm hoping that maybe on her website and other more official places, now that they're online, she has talked more about her authority to be able to be teaching this content, which to me seems really random. Seems like a bit of a grift because it seems like she has pursued other business ventures very quickly that failed, and then she pivoted. And this seems like another one of them because it doesn't seem like she's like, oh, I've been creating online courses for 10 years, or oh, I love like learning about, how to teach things online. Like that's a deep passion of mine. It seemed to come out of nowhere, which brings me to point number two, which is, the authenticity point. So if you look at Bethany's marketing messages from a couple of months ago from that video, you'll notice that she says things like, you'll be, she doesn't say six figures, but she implies that by selling an online course to make passive income, you could be a stay-at-home parent. And that implication is, hey, this thing could potentially replace an income, right? And so we say, okay, an average salary here in the United States, $30,000 a year. I don't know how that's average-ish anyway. So the implication is that your course, if we divide 30,000 divided by 12 months, is making multiple thousands of dollars a month. And throughout, she said, like, oh, you don't have to have video. But then she did a whole thing where she was recording videos for her course. You could be making six figures. She's not making six figures even on this course. You know what I mean? So there was just this disconnect between what she was saying was possible and what she was demonstrating, which I think when people see that kind of thing in their marketing, it feels really inauthentic, right? When a brand says, oh, yeah, like this is the best thing I've ever drank. And then you see a picture of them being like, you know, it, it doesn't make sense in your brain. And so that's what it felt like watching her marketing messages. That's why they felt kind of hollow. That's why they felt performative, is because they really felt like they weren't demonstrating the things that she seemed to want to demonstrate as her main marketing messages. The other thing I had issue with, which is the thing I've seen improvement on just visually, just looking at her stuff, is accessibility. So we talked about things like how she would put white text on a very light purple background and how that contrast was really off. We talked about her not turning on captions for her uh, Instagram videos, that kind of thing. And so, as somebody who his whole thing is online and I want to, sell things online, a huge part of that is making sure that everybody in the audience can access your content. So that's giving multiple, ways for people to access it. And part of teaching also is being accessible. One of my degrees is in teaching, and we spent a lot of time talking about how can we adapt an exam for somebody who, has low reading comprehension, or how do we create a lesson plan that addresses different kinds of learning, not just lecturing all the time, right? So as somebody who, is like a bit of a trained educator here, like part of what you're taught is when you're teaching a lot of different kinds of people. And so you have to make that accessible. And so just Bethany's kind of thrown together marketing content, it seemed like she wasn't thinking about that, but it seems like she's made some improvements in that, at least visually from what I can see. We'll see if it's improved at a deeper level. And my final issue, which sorry doesn't begin with A, I tried to make it happen, but this was my biggest issue with her, was a lack of effort on her part. She'd use screenshots and not crop them properly. And she just seemed to record a lot of, to me, what seemed like kind of lazy content, spelling errors, slides with so much text on them that, they'd be in a story and like you couldn't even read the whole thing before it like moved on. Just like not making her messaging clear when she could have. So for example, yeah, her website wasn't online, but like, why not have a landing page with some basic information on it? The only thing she had for a long time was the Instagram account. So you would think that she would make a lot of information easier to find, but I found that not only was the information not easy to find, the pieces of content she created were low effort. The audio would cut out before she was finished recording, that kind of thing. So I just wanted to see more effort on her part. I get that she's a busy mom. She's recording content in pockets of her day. But at the same time, like, come on, you need to put forth a little bit more effort. So where we're at now is the course is launched. Now we can't take a look at it because I'm not going to pay $1,000 or $600 or $800 or however much the course costs. We'll see if we can figure it out. She has launched the masterclass. Other people have covered the masterclass. I don't really feel a need to watch it, but it really doesn't have much content in it. I watched the Savvy Rates Books reaction to it, and it's not like she's giving a lot away here. And it's not like you watched for an hour and there was like maybe 3 bullet points or something, just one of those kind of things. And the website's launched too. So we're going to look at those things today in addition to the Instagram and see if Bethany has improved on the points that I just talked about. So let's check it out. So let's take a look at her website. So we see, okay, she's putting the dark purple on the light purple, but the contact button is in white. So we haven't, I get that she wanted to make it a different color than her, I don't know, logo, I guess we could call it. But at the same time, I think she could have made it that purple color and underlined it and still have not lost anything. So there's her online course master training. And so there she is, Bethany Beal. Imagine where your life could be 6 months from now if you started your own profitable course. So as we see here, now she's selling it for $1,900. But there's various times where she's had online, promotions through her email list and things like that, where she's slashed this even further than this. So this is the one-time payout versus 6-month payments of $400. So you could pay $2,400 instead of $1,900. No discount. So here's her really long sales page, right? Like lots of content. We'll probably watch this video just because I think that would probably be a helpful way to frame it. Okay, and now she's showing what each module includes. So this is interesting because that was one of my main complaints, is like, you're buying a black box. She didn't. So there it is again. Where do I get access to the course? How long do I have access to the course? Forever. What if I want a refund? So sorry, we do not issue any refunds. Of course not. So looking at this website, I was like, okay, is this like a WordPress site or something? Because it looks vaguely WordPressy, but I thought, you know what? She is repping Kajabi. And yep, so I'm seeing Kajabi in the code here. So I'm guessing that this page is built in the Kajabi course platform. Now, she's been pushing Kajabi really hard, like as part of it. And what someone in Reddit postulated, which kind of went with something I said too, is that I said that I thought she was going to pivot to affiliate marketing as part of this, because she started saying things like LegalZoom and GoDaddy and Kajabi. And I thought, okay, I said it even, I'm like, I bet she starts affiliating. So I have a feeling, because here is the thing. I looked up Kajabi partners and how much they make. They make a 30% lifetime commission for any new referral. Okay. Let's look at Kajabi pricing. So this is an annual discount. So this is $119 a month and billed annually, but let's switch to monthly pricing. So 30% of $150 isn't bad. And if you sold this to enough people, you see how you could be making a few $100s a month in actually passive income. So I think she's pushing Kajabi hard so that she could sell a Kajabi affiliate as part of her course. Like, I bet she has a Kajabi affiliate link that's built into her course. So this website isn't like terrible, minus this whole contact thing not being readable, probably because she doesn't want us to contact her. I will say I think it's a missed opportunity that she's not using a Facebook remarketing pixel. She could be taking out very inexpensive ads to people who visit her website to get them to come back and finish the purchase. So this whole video series is me giving gurus like free online consulting. I don't know why I'm doing it, but anyway. So we're going to watch the video that's lower on this page and see how she talks about herself. Maybe in the video she establishes authority, but I see nowhere in the text content where she's talking about why she should be the one making this course. So let's see.
Welcome to Module 6. You are crushing it. You're doing amazing. You are taking steps towards...
There's a lot of plants. There's a lot of plants in this sequence, but okay.
It's launching a super successful online course that makes you passive income literally while you sleep. So welcome back. I hope that you are feeling excited and energized, whether you are powering through this and you need another cup of coffee or tea, or you're taking your time one module at a time, one day at a time, 1 week at a time, and just working through it. I'm just so glad that you're here. We're going to be talking about your TC, your target client. This entire module is focused on taking that next step, going deeper and figuring out, okay, I have my niche. I know what my topic is. I know what my bullseye is, but who is your target client? Who is that person you are specifically striving to help? We are going to get extremely specific in this module. And I know that can be scary to do. Again, many of us struggle with wanting to go broad, but that is not helpful. Like they say, the riches are in the niches, and the most help is in the specifics of who that person is. I think it's best to literally get so specific that you come up with a name for that person, whether it's a real person that you know or a person that you've created, to where you can say, okay, when I start creating my course, it is geared toward, say you name her Rachel or you name him Nathan, whoever it is, you have a name and you know all the specifics about that person and you are aiming it toward them. So in this module, we are going to figure out who your TC is, who your target client is, and we are going to narrow everything down to your niche and your target client. This is going to help you super successfully create a
I had to see how many. Oh, okay.
course that will help that one specific person and answer that felt need that they have. Let's jump in.
Okay, so that was like a really long module introduction, in my opinion, especially if you're in module 6, like you're in the course. Like we don't need to be continuously greeted, except briefly, in my opinion. But yeah, I feel like this is very general marketing advice that you would get in any marketing class, is to think about your customer avatar or your target client, as she's calling it, and think about how that person, what that person thinks about, what kind of media that person consumes, what kinds of things they're concerned about. And once you get kind of in that headspace, it's a lot easier to make content for them, right? Whether it's marketing content or whether it's a specific course. I also think it's really interesting that in one of her stories, she says that you don't have to be on video to create an online course, because I feel like she's definitely spent some time and effort on this video. I know that she filmed this in her parents' office. I just think all the plants are kind of interesting. The one on the table, I think, is a little bit distracting. I'd like it if she had a computer there or something to kind of ground us into we're creating an online course. Okay, so she uses this as an example of an introduction to a module, which I think is a little bit misleading. Like, I think part of what we want to see is not how she introduces material, but how she would teach a piece of material. So there's 3 lessons, for example, in module 6, which is my target client. And there's how many total modules? There's 14 total modules. So that module we're seeing is almost halfway through our course with her. That costs $1,600. Okay. Now listen, I'm not saying you have to give away the cow for free here, but if I've never seen you teach something before, I want to see what that looks like, which is part of the reason these videos exist, so is that you can see my vibe. And if you want to hire our company to do marketing, you have a good idea of what kind of person you're dealing with and how I talk about information. So what I think is interesting is you saw on that website we were just looking at, there was just like a contact link in the header. So I was trying to figure out, okay, well, if I want to see the free masterclass, how do I get to it? And there didn't seem to be a really straightforward way to get to it on the main website. But when I went to Bethany's link tree and I clicked on free master course, I got to this page. So to get to here, I clicked on her Instagram bio, the link tree there. And then I clicked on this free masterclass and I got to this site. Now, as you see here, it says sheworksmart.com/webinar-offer in the URL area. But there's no way to get to this from like the part of the website where she's selling you the $1,900 or the $1,600 course. I already forget how much it costs. So this masterclass I'll be sharing, figuring out your area of expertise. deciding on a profitable course topic, and successfully launching with Instagram. So if I click get instant access, I have to put in my name and my email. So no thanks. So like I said, I'm not going to cover the free master class. Other people have covered it just fine. All you need to know is that it's like what you just saw, but picture that going on for like an hour. Like just obvious marketing idea, a lot of filler content, empowerment, asking for the sale. So let's take a look at Bethany's Instagram, which is where we spent most of our time last time because it was the only place that was available to us last time. All right, so here's Bethany's Instagram. Now, as you see, so the last time I complained about her putting white text on a light purple background that it was unreadable. So now she's gone very readable here with black text on white with like an outline format. I like this, Bethany. Good job. Thank you for listening to me. All right, so we're going to watch these pinned posts. We're going to check out some of these story highlights, and then we'll look at other content if we want to. But let's take a look at these first.
So desperately that you could be a stay-at-home mom, but still bring in a full-time income.
There it is right there. First of all, she didn't fully listen to me because look, there's some letters on here. They're on light purple text. She did turn on the captions though. I'll give her that. Do you wish you could be a stay-at-home mom and bring in a full-time income? I think that would be what we call in the business an income claim. Like she doesn't make a full-time income with this. And she's implying that you will, which I think is gross.
That is the dream, right? Like that is the dream life while you are, with your kids, but you're also pouring into your family economy and you are pouring into the budget and getting to do all of the things that you love at the same time. Y'all, it is 2022. This is totally possible. One, you just need to recognize that this is possible for you. Women all over the world are doing this in incredible ways. So you need to recognize this is possible for me. Number two, I think the best way to scale the most quickly is by creating your own online course. And I want to show you how to do that. If you click the link in my bio and grab my free Niche It Down guide, that will help you start building your community, building your platform, building your business. It will also put you on the list to be the first to hear about my online course master training when it releases so that you can start building the business of your dreams while being home with your babies at the same time. This is possible for you.
It's so manipulative. I'm not a mother, but when I see marketing like this that targets mothers who are like doing their best and is almost like guilting them that, they might have to work or that they're decided to stay home, for the household and that they're not bringing in money. Like, I just think that that's gross. So we see this was posted 8 weeks ago. That's what I was checking when she was saying that he'd be the first to know when it launched. So I guess it launched sometime in the last 8 weeks.
You need to believe it. Save this video. And when you doubt, pull it up and say, okay, this is for me. I can do this.
My God. All right, let's go on to the next one.
Ladies and gentlemen, her. Ladies and gentlemen, her.
Okay. I don't have anything deep to comment on that one, but it is a little more effort. I see that she's made sure that everything is spelled correctly on the screen, for example.
Hello, friends. My name is Bethany Beal, and I am the founder of She Works Smart.
She adds captions to all her videos. Wonder where she got that idea from.
And I actually got the name idea from Proverbs 31. I honestly just went to that chapter, verses like 10 through 31, and I just started looking for inspiration, looking for ideas, and She Works Smart is what I came up with. The whole idea is that I want to help women work smarter, not harder. I am not about that hustle culture, like grind, just do it all. I want to help women, especially women who want to be home with their kids, home with their babies, have more time with their husband, contribute to the family economy without having to be away all the time. I want to help you know how to do that. And I think there are so many opportunities in the day that we live in to do that. And I think every woman has a skill set, an expertise that she can bring to the table to help her family create another stream of income. And I'm going to show you how to do that from A to Z. So stick with me, follow along, and I will share all of my tips and tricks on making passive income. Hello, friends.
All right. So I'm going to follow her instructions and go to start here and see what she's got, see what else she's added since we last looked at it.
Hello, friends. My name is Bethany Beal, and
Okay,
I
we're
am
gonna
the
skip
founder
this
of.
one. My online course master training will help you learn to overcome limiting beliefs and mindsets that are keeping you from success. Set goals that are truly in line with your passions and skills. Come up with a profitable course topic, even if you have no ideas. Write, record, and launch your profitable course. Market your course through email and social media. And set your course on autopilot to make you money passively. I don't know. 14 modules to do that seems like not enough time. It's time to stop allowing life to happen to you and start taking control of your future. Your life can look radically different in 3 to 6 months from now if you invest in your future. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Make this the year that change happens. God, I wonder if this is New Year's content. But look, I mean, her images, she's put a purple gradient on them. She's made the writing readable. She's done some spell check. Okay, Bethany, I see some improvements. All right, so we are going to look at the masterclass content now. All right, so hey, no spelling errors. It's laid out like you did it on purpose. Good job, Bethany. Today's the day the free masterclass is available. DM me, I'm ready, and I'll send you the free link. I had to pause this because I thought like, oh, maybe she meant to type www, but she just put a lot of W's in now. I don't know why. And then the free link, there's a period and an exclamation mark. But okay, I'm just being picky at this point. These are a lot better graphics than she had last time I looked at them. So I see some improvement, Bethany.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, we already saw this one.
Yeah. I got you covered.
This whole like grifting on moms just really bothers me. Okay, let's read this. I just dropped a free masterclass for any women desiring more flexibility in her schedule. Proverbs 31 woman is such an inspiration to me because she was all about her family / super business savvy. My hope is that this free training will help you be like her. Free training. Okay. Like I said, I've seen way worse graphics from Bethany with a lot more errors in them. So, oh my God. Okay. This is funny. Point of view, when you're just a regular mom, but you get emails like this one, and it's a screenshot of a PayPal email. It says payment received $900. So first of all, I just want to say that I have 2 PayPal accounts. Like I have a personal and a business one. And if I wanted to fake this screenshot, I could just transfer $900 from one to the other. I would get an email and then I would just blur out who the email was from. Ta-da. I'm sure this could be photoshopped, but the other thing I will just point out here is why is it $900, right? Her course is selling for like $1,600. Why is it $900? There was one period where the course was priced at $900. She kept bringing down the price. So maybe she got one person to pay for it. Point of view, when you get emails like this, maybe some one person paid $900 for this. Yeah, me, I'm ready. A few course ideas I'd love to see someone create. Okay. Make 6 figures a year as a professional thrifter. One of Bethany's failed businesses was she tried to do a Poshmark business. So she's just curious where she went wrong. Beginner's guide to starting a homestead within city limits. She's really trying to convince Dave to get chickens, I guess. Just kidding. Okay. Gentle street sleep training for your baby. A newlywed couple's guide to having a great honeymoon. How to study the Bible and love it. A Christian woman's step-by-step plan for overcoming anxiety. A biblical plan for dealing with postpartum depression. A 6-week guide to overcome your fear of having a med-free labor. These seem very specific to where Bethany is at. I'm not sure if they're commercially viable so much as Bethany wants them to exist so that if you're in her class, she could see your content and learn from it. Oh. Okay. So over the past 6 weeks, I've made over $14,000 from my online courses. Imagine having the ability or skills to create / sell online courses as extra income. So is it extra income or is it that you're replacing your 9-to-5 salary so you can stay home with your kids? Like, is it extra or isn't it? This is like where the MLM territory comes in. of like, oh, well, you can make a couple of $100s a month, or you can make, a full-time income. And it's like, no, it's a pretty big range between $200 a month and my full-time income. You know what I mean? I can show you step by step how to make money from your online courses, your reality too. Ugh. All right. So keep that number of 14,000 in 6 weeks. Keep that in your mind. I want to show you something else.
I am freaking out, y'all. I started this account on June 4th and I have been growing it from zero and had literally no products, nothing until 4 days ago. 4 days ago, I launched my online course, Master Training, basically teaching you everything I've learned over the years about launching courses and making money. I mean, this is where we are and we are only 4 days in. We still have 3 days to go.
Okay, so this math is super depressing, but let's do it anyway. So $14,000 over 6 weeks, but $6,000 the first 4 days. So that means the first 4 days she made $6,300. Okay. And then the next 5 weeks and 4 days. Okay. So the next 5.5 weeks, she made $7,700. Okay. For a total of $14,000. Now that you've heard kind of the amount of money, and she says, I made $14,000 over 6 weeks. What she's glossing over is that she spent time making that course, right? Like that time was unpaid. We have to include, if we're talking about a course, the time from when you start making the course to, the end of you being done selling the course, right? Because making the course takes the most time. Selling it, is part of it, but it's not the bulk of the work. The bulk of the work is making the course. So what I want to do is I want to rewatch this video and keep the timeline in mind for when she says she started the Instagram account, which is to say she started working on the course, to when she launched the course, because we're going to count that time in that $14,000 income after this.
I am freaking out, y'all. I started this account on June 4th and I have been growing it from zero and had literally no products, nothing until 4 days ago. 4 days ago, I launched my online course, Master Training, basically teaching you everything I've learned over the years about launching courses and making money. I mean, this is where we are and we are only 4 days in. We still have 3 days to go. It's insane to me. Like anyone can do this. I'm not special. You can do this. So if you want to make this your reality where you literally create a product from nothing and can get these kinds of numbers within your very first few days of launch, DM me. I'm ready. And I'm going to send you my free masterclass to help you get started. I'm just so excited. I am freaking out, y'all.
All right. So she just gave us a timeline. She didn't realize it, but she did. And I'm going to do some very depressing math with you here. So prepare your hearts. Now, she posted this 9 weeks ago. So I'm recording this January 16. Happy Martin Luther King Day, everybody. And so 9 weeks ago was November 14. Okay. So she started June 4th and she worked until mid-November when she launched. Okay. So June, July, August, September, October. And we can even say half of November, but let's just say 5 months, okay? And then it's been launched for 9 weeks. So let's call that 2 more months, right? Even though like it's almost a total of 8 months when we add in that half of November and we add in that extra week. But let's be super generous here and say 7 months. So 5 months developing the course content and 2 months like launching and promoting it, okay? So she made $14,000 over 7 months. $14,000 divided by 7 months. We could divide it by 8 if we wanted to, right? Like, because I'm being super generous here. But this is how much money is being brought in a month. Now, let's say you worked at McDonald's for $15 an hour, 40 hours a week, 4 weeks a month. That's how much money you would make. So yeah, it's really misleading when you say that you made $14,000 in 6 weeks and you completely discount the 5 months that you spent building up the social media account, creating free lead magnets, working on the course modules, editing the course modules, all of that, right? Anyway, and I want to watch one more set of highlights for sure, which is the course set of highlights. Let's take a look at that now. All right, ready to jump into my online master training. If you're sick of cold calls discovery calls, exchanging your time for money, not fulfilling your passion, the 9-to-5 grind. Ugh. Becoming your own online course business owner is your ticket out. Oh my God, could she put any more text on some of these slides? Okay, in my online master course training, you will learn how to overcome limiting beliefs. Okay, this is the same text we read before, and it's the same text that's on our website. So it's like she wrote this text once and she's using it in multiple stories. Fine, a little bit lazy, but at least she's trying to make content. What you will learn. Hey, same content from the website. Get all the details. What is it with all the extra letters? To start your very own online course biz. I'm interested. So that's the link. Online master course training, a complete guide to creating and launching your own profitable online course business. All right. So, time away from babies. That white writing, I just went back. See how it's the light on the white and how it's kind of unreadable? That's an accessibility issue, Bethany. That's not me being a total jerk. That's a legitimate concern, people not being able to read content. What you will get, again, this is just all content from the website, just regurgitated. $600 off discount to $1,400. Exclusive launch discount. Okay, there's the same discount, but a different image. I like her in purple. It looks good. Okay, let's.
You have been watching and waiting for my online course master training.
I love that she has the captions in all the videos now.
To drop. It dropped today. And I know so many of you are ready. You're ready to take that next step. You are, like me, so sick of feeling like the only way to have success as a woman.
Okay. You see how it just cut off? Like, you can put the video in a different format. You can put multiple parts of a video together. I don't know.
Okay.
The other joke with the toothbrush, for those of you who are informed, is that her and her husband share a toothbrush and they think it's totally fine and the internet thinks it's really weird. So I think that was a little shot at the haters. She's just screenshotting her website. Okay, this is kind of lazy, but I kind of appreciate it. Let me just screenshot all the content on my website. So that's what this whole thing is she just screenshotted her website. Okay. So to save your sanity and mine, I'm just going to go to the Q&A and find the most interesting ones and share those. So I'm sharing these potentially out of order and I'm not sharing all of them. So just keep that in mind. Your turn to ask a question. How to get over the feeling like you're too young / inexperienced to be an authority on this subject. I think Bethany sent herself her own question here. It's not about your age. It's about your experience, knowledge, and understanding of a subject. You have to portray yourself as the expert. If you don't feel like you're the expert level, do whatever it takes to get there. Some of the most confident and helpful experts I know are very young. The world is changing. People care less and less about age and more about what you have to offer. Okay, Bethany. So what do you have to offer? Don't get it. I had to share this one because it's really random. What's your favorite Rihanna song? I don't know any. You don't know one Rihanna song? Come on. This is another question I think Bethany is kind of telling on herself. I'm trying to get following / support for a really long-term project. How do I keep people interested? I wouldn't start talking about the specific project until you're 2 to 3 months from release. People lose interest. Note that she started talking about her own online course 5 months before it launched, but I digress. Focus on building a following around your niche and they will be ready for your product when the time comes. So I think she's like feeding herself her own question here because they're kind of vague and they seem like they're hitting on Bethany's pain points as well. All right, so she's used these pictures of her carrying flowers wearing a beige sweater before, but the question is, how did you discover online courses as a type of passive income? Again, these sound like questions that she's like literally making up for herself. I had personally purchased several courses to help advance my skills in certain areas. I became a huge fan of the teaching style. My nonprofit at Girl Defined wanted to bring in more passive income rather than solely dependent on donors. We created and launched an online course and have had 3 live launches. We now sell it passively. I was blown away by sales and have been a fan ever since. So I think this is interesting because, it says that the Girl Defined course was a live course, right? So that means that they were in the course, they had their students, and so they were able to interact in real time. They were able to get feedback and that kind of thing. And after they did 3 rounds of a live class, they turned it into a passive, like a class that's, what we call self-paced in the online learning world, which is to say that, you enroll when you want to and you watch the series of videos, you don't have to attend like a live Zoom call or anything like that. So I think it's interesting that she went with this course right to the non-live version. I wonder how she was able to get the feedback to make the course the best that it could be. Like, did she have some beta testers and she incorporated their feedback before the launch? Did she I don't know, do a survey with people in her community to see like what kinds of content they needed? Like, I just don't understand how she was able to get the feedback, because part of what gives you confidence as a course creator is doing a course live and like seeing the looks on people's faces, seeing what questions they have, seeing like what things could have been made more clear. And then the next time you do it, it's better. So to me, I would only do a course that was sort of passive if I had a lot of experience in the material and could anticipate those questions and had gotten feedback from people who had been through the course a few times. But what do I know? All right, so this seems like a real question because it's a real question I had, which is, can you depend financially on passive income, or is it more like extra money? Because she said both, right? She's both implied that this could replace a 9 to 5 income, and she's implied that this could be extra money. So like, what is it? So she could have fed this question, but I also think that someone could have actually asked it because it's definitely a question I have. It takes time to grow and establish a business. Most people start their passive streams while still working another job. They slowly transition into being full-time passive income and eventually quit their other job. It's always a good idea to brainstorm other streams of income. I really like at Brett Johnson 11 advice on how to invest and set yourself up for financial success. Okay, so she didn't answer it. Not that I was expecting her to, but okay, so this is funny. She's showing this is from a real person. That's not her. She's showing the handle of the person asking this question. Part 1, assuming one's time is worth at least minimum wage, it's probably more. What is the money required initial investment, and what is the average ROI estimated? Great question. By the way, I read those in a slightly wrong order, but I think you get it. So her answer: initial investment, online course, master training, $1,400. That goes into Bethany Beal's pocket. Kajabi, $200 a month, of which 30% goes into Bethany's pocket. Everything else is optional. I'm sure it is. But in my experience, I've always made back way more than I invested. It takes work to start a business from scratch, though. You can't just expect to launch a course with no plan to get it into students' hands. We unpack this all in my training. I encourage you to start building a platform / growing an email list now if you're serious about starting an online course biz. Many people make their ROI back in a 1 to 6 months, depending on how quick they get going. So she's saying that you can make $1,400 a month, $1,400 in between 1 and 6 months of work. Well, I should say $1,400 plus $200 a month. So yeah, I could algebra that, but I think you get the idea. So interesting. Okay, and so people are asking for tax advice. And she says, I'll share exactly what I'm doing to make sure I'm set up for success. Okay, but her tax / legal situation is probably different than everybody. So I'm not sure if she can really be giving that advice. So what she's saying here is that connecting with a CPA, that you're in line with current laws, etc. Get official using LegalZoom. Manage your own taxes with TurboTax. I personally save 30% of everything to make it for taxes. I put it in a separate account. Makes sense. And she has an advisor that has amazing resources if you want to take a deep dive. Okay, so fair enough. I would say this kind of advice too. I don't think it's overly personal. So I'm just very tempted and there's only 5 stories, so I'm gonna watch the Canva tips. If they're good, I'll keep this part in here. I'm really curious. I thought Bethany's sister was the designer, but maybe she has some tips for us too.
Tips you need to know about Canva, part 1. Did you know that you can just go to the search bar in Canva and type out pretty much anything that you want? So you can search out carousel post and immediately Canva tips you need to know, part.
It cut her off. She cut herself off. She could have given herself more time, but no.
2. Like I mentioned in the last video, the search bar is going to be your best friend. So we're going to type in content calendar here. And what you'll see is not only great ideas for Canva tips you need to
Finish the thought, lady.
know, part 3. Let's create a professional online training course. First, we're going to search talking presentation. This will take us to dozens of options. We are going to just select the first one, which comes with.
This is some tutorial. Here's me spending a lot of time announcing the name of it and then not finishing
Canva
it.
tips you need to know, part 4.
Open up Canva, go to your images, and you're going to select the image you want. It will upload into Canva. Go through and look for the effects button, and you will see background remover.
Canva
Okay, I guess that was about how to remove the background of an image, but
tips you need to know, part 5.
she really likes the sound. She uses it a lot.
You want to create a free download, a free ebook, but you're not sure where to start. We're going to go to ebook templates. And from there, you're going to have dozens of.
Oh my God. The whole thing is like you search and paste things into templates. Just the tips we came to know. All right. And as a final thing, I want to see what kind of reels she's been posting lately. Like maybe the stories, like some stuff's getting cut off, but maybe she has the full length videos as reels. So we're going to watch her last 10 reels. So sorry and you're welcome, I guess.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Wait. Let me tell you.
Here are 5 steps to becoming an online course creator. From someone who's made thousands of dollars doing this. Step 1, figure out your niche. Step 2, start building a community on TikTok or Instagram. Step 3, oh my nail. Step 3, start growing your email list by offering a free download, a free PDF, something like that. Step 4, you actually have to create your online course. And step 5, launch a free masterclass webinar that funnels people into your online course. Last step, start making money every single month.
This is the exact same content. I know if you didn't watch the last video, she had something exactly like this. It was the video she filmed in the parking garage where I liked her lipstick, but. Okay, she already said that one.
I don't care what they say. I'm in love with you. They try to pull me away, but they don't know the truth.
Okay, so she's making $2,000 a month. Okay, like let's chill a second. Stay-at-home mom with full-time income. Don't put white and light purple on top of each other. It's not one or the other. If you want to be a stay-at-home mom who brings a full-time income, you need to start this kind of business. No, you don't. You can start another kind of business. Online course business. Use your skills, life experience with missing E at the end, degree, hardships, or triumphs to position yourself as an expert in the niche. God. Grow a community on IG. Start sharing a story, offering tips, educating, and entertaining your community here on Instagram. Create your online course to launch your profitable business. Don't worry. I'll teach you how to do this. Sell your course passively. Automate your course so it sells at all hours of the day. Again, follow me and I'll show you how to do this A to Z. No, she's not going to like show you how to do it. She's just going to imply that you can. All right, a couple of more.
I see.
Okay, first of all, you can put a little filter so that if you're going to put white text on something, we can read it. But in case you can't read it, it says, I have no desire to climb the corporate ladder or compete against men for higher pay. I want to work minimal hours from home for maximum pay so I can spend all my time with my sweet babies. Okay, this idea is preposterous. The idea that by me, a woman entering the workforce, that I'm taking the job away from a man. First of all, I'm self-employed, so I'm not doing that. I created my own job. My goal is to take jobs away from men. Listen, I could equally be taking that job away from a woman or a non-binary person, okay? Let's just face it. And second of all, there are plenty of adult women who need to support themselves. What are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to just sit at home and starve because there isn't a man to take care of them? No, they need to go make money. They need to pay bills. They need to eat. They need to do things in their adult life. And they can't wait for some guy to come along and provide for all of their needs. Come on, Bethany. Like, this is so stupid. I think what bugged me the most about this, and I couldn't articulate when I was recording this video, is that saying you're taking something away from something implies that they deserve it and that it was already given to them. When you apply for a job, everyone who's applying for the job theoretically also can have the job. It's not like it was like, oh, we promised little Jimmy this job and we're going to just take it out of his cold, prying hands and give it to a woman. Like, like I had to record this like 7 times. I kept getting more and more pissed. This was the edit where I was the least pissed. Okay, back to it. So yeah, terrible sentiment and unreadable. Let's watch 2 more.
Honey. Honey.
She's not lucky. She worked hard and she's seeing success from her hard work. She's not lucky. She worked hard and
Okay, guys, 1 more because this is kind of weird. How to scroll for hours on IG watching other people make money and be successful. I'm not sure how that's comparable to giving yourself a chiropractic adjustment, but okay. Here's the thing, right? You're following that account and you think, oh, if this person knows about, business and marketing, I'm probably going to get some tips once in a while, right? Well, as you see, we watched a series of videos and other than the Canva tips, which never got finished, there was no tips. There's no like, what book should I be reading? There's no, here's a cool strategy with reels. There's no, here's what you do when you sell your first course, how you can get a testimonial from that person. There's nothing like that. And she could be very easily creating that content, but instead she's like guilting you for being a working mother, that you should be staying at home with your babies, or being a stay-at-home mother and not contributing to your family income. So she's kind of hitting you from both sides, no matter like what you're doing as a woman in your own household, and no matter what decision that you've made with your partner or other people that are in your household about what you're doing, right? So I don't think Bethany has changed much. I still think we're still seeing these income claims. We're seeing vague promises. We're not really seeing much in the way of content. And I certainly wouldn't pay $1,400 to find out if she knew what she was talking about or not. I would need like a tactical, actual training. And the master course she has just isn't it. It's not interesting. Now, if you want me to react to her master course, let me know. I will happily make that video. Like I said, I feel like other people have covered it, but if you want me to cover it, I'm fine doing that. You know me, I'm a glutton for punishment. Now, if watching this, you're thinking, oh, I'd love to actually maybe make an online course. I think your time would best be spent learning how to like break down what you know into a good course. And then obviously like marketing that course. There's tons of online marketing resources that I'm happy to point you to, but I think that the first step is making sure your course is actually good. So learning about things like, how to outline information and how to convey that information in different ways, how to create like maybe engaging visuals, especially for online stuff, and that kind of thing. So I just did a quick search for some online education MOOCs to just show you what's out there. So just some ideas. This is Uncommon Sense Teaching online. This is on Coursera. And we see that this is 74 euros per month. Let's look at this. Using Zoom to connect with learners. This looks like it is 41 euros a month. And this, as you see, beginner, it's like sort of saying what the level is. This is learning to teach online. This is 41 euros. Excellence in online teaching. This is 49 euros. So I think like learning how to teach online is a good use of your time because let's face it, whether you sell an online course or not, chances are that you'll be asked to present information virtually at some point in your career. And I think being able to do that in an engaging way is always good. Presentation skills, I think, are always good to have no matter what kind of business you're in, even if you just work with one other person and you have to present them the idea. Just as something in case you're interested in it, I am experimenting with teaching about a subject matter I've never taught on before. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a pay what you want webinar. I'll put the link on the screen right now. You know how there's all this AI and marketing stuff going on? What I wanted to do was come up with ways for people to learn about what exists and how to work it into what they're already doing with marketing to save themselves time. So kind of beyond the sort of whiz bang, oh, wow, that's cool part of AI and kind of getting into like, okay, you're a small business owner and you're really tired of rewriting tweets. Like, how can you use AI to do that? That's kind of what I want to get into. So I've got this on the site. It has a suggested donation of $15, but like, if you don't have any money, please don't put any money in, just sign up for it. I just want some people live in the class so that I can get feedback from them and they can ask questions because I've never taught on this before. So I'm an experienced presenter, but I'm not experienced in presenting this material in particular. So I want to get feedback before I create a kind of course about it. So a little plug there, but I don't think Bethany is it. Like, chances are, if you're thinking about doing an online course, teaching an online course, you probably have a subject matter you know a lot about or something that you're just really interested in. So like, I'm a dog groomer. I'm great at dog grooming. I think I want to do an online dog grooming class because I have a lot of clients who want to do it at home, but they just have a basic bathtub and I have some tips and tricks that'll make it a lot easier for them. Great. Also, I would love to watch you film that. But I would take two, if I was the dog groomer in this situation, I didn't know anything about any of this online crap, I would take two classes. I would take an online teaching class. So how do I instruct people online? And that's what those classes I showed you just a second ago will do. And it looks like they cost between 40 and 50 euro a month. So like 60-ish American dollars a month. And it looks like they run between 5 and 12 weeks. So let's just say it ran for 3 months. So $60 times 3 months is $180. That's like a tenth of the price of what Bethany is selling. I would take a second class about online marketing, like how online marketing works in general, so that you have a good idea of how to market this course and how to market other things. I think I have some resources linked in the Kevin David reaction video, which I'll link to. If you look at the show notes of that, there's a list of some free internet marketing classes that I've heard about, one of which I've taken, but other ones that I've heard about. And if you have one that you took and you recommend, feel free to link it below. My friend Monique just reminded me, actually, as I was editing this video, that I have a marketing on a shoestring course that is on my YouTube channel. So I'll link to that if you want to watch it. But basically, it's kind of goes over internet marketing in a general way. I recorded it like 7 years ago, but she says it's still very relevant. So I'll link it here in case it helps anybody else get an overview on internet marketing in general. But I feel like you could take an online marketing course in a similar price range, that sort of $60 to $180 price range, and have a fair bit of marketing knowledge. So you could basically learn everything you needed to know for under $500 from probably some professors or people who are like trained on how to teach you on how to do it. So yeah, that's what I would do. Now, Bethany, if for whatever reason you're watching this video, if you want to offer me access to your course, I am fine with giving you notes on it. I do charge $200 an hour. That's my hourly consulting rate, but I feel like I've given you a lot of free advice here. So as you see, I'm willing to give a lot of value before I ask you for money, like you should do for your customers as well. So thanks so much for watching. If you have any gurus you want me to react to, feel free to leave them as a comment on this video. I'm always open to new gurus. I've not heard of tons of them that people have suggested already. And if you're more shy, you can use the contact form of the website. That goes to me and I'll see that. And if you want to stay in touch, we do have a monthly newsletter. It goes out once a month, hence monthly newsletter. And if you go to this page, you can see past issues to kind of see what you're getting into and see if that's your thing. But it's a kind of a way to stay in touch without constantly hearing from me. And, you know, then I can collect your email and try to sell you a guru course someday, maybe. Just kidding. So thanks for watching. I appreciate your time. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next week.